1 is creation. Genesis chapter 2 is special events in creation. Genesis chapter 3 is the temptation and fall of Adam and Eve. Okay, Genesis chapter 3 is temptation and fall of Adam and Eve. Genesis chapter 4 is Cain and 5 is genealogies. Now, a genealogy is a long list of people's ancestors, and that's important to people for a long, long time. So chapter 5 is genealogies. Whenever I wiggle my thumb, that's genealogies. 5 is genealogies, and 10 is genealogies. We have genealogies in chapter 5 and chapter 10. 5 is genealogies. Chapters 6, 7, and 8 is Noah and the flood. 9 is Noah after the, and 10 is 11 is the Tower of Babel, okay, and 12 is the call of Abraham. Now, Abraham lived in Ur of the Chaldees, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers flow into the Persian Gulf. God called Abraham, and he said, if you will go into a land that I will show you, I will bless you and make your name great. Abraham packed up his bags. He went along the Fertile Crescent till he came to a place called Haran. Then he went down into the land of promise. Now, Abraham had a problem. He didn't have any children. Sons is correct also, but particularly children. Abraham didn't have any children. Later, he made a deal with his wife Sarah about their handmaid Hagar. He had a son by Hagar whose name was Ishmael, but Ishmael was not the son of promise. The son of promise means that the one through whom God would bring the king, and the one also through whom God would send the Messiah, the Savior of the world. The one also who would be the blessing for the rest of the world. So Ishmael was not the son of promise, but later he had a son by his wife Sarah, whose name was Isaac, and Isaac was the son of promise. Okay, now Isaac had twin boys, Jacob and Esau. Esau was not the son of promise, but Jacob was the son of promise. Okay, Jacob had 12 sons. Now, why do I do it like this? Well, I only have 10 fingers, and so I use my 2 ears. This is 12. Okay, this is 10. This is 12. Okay, so he had 12 sons. The second from the youngest son, whose name was Joseph, was sold, and this is a $, sold into bondage into Egypt. Later, the entire family came together to Egypt, where they lived in the land of Goshen. How many hundred years later? 400 years later, God called a man whose name was Moses. He said, go down, Moses, tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. So Moses went down to Egypt, where he performed all sorts of miracles, which we call the plagues. Correct. Finally, Pharaoh let the people go. Moses said, come on, folks, let's go. They packed up their bags. They went through the Red Sea and over to Mount Sinai, where they received the 10 commandments. Okay. After that, the people came to a town called Kadesh Barnea, where they sent out 12 spies to spy out the land. 2 came back and said, yes, we can take the land. Our God is great and is able to give it to us. 10 came back and they said, no, we cannot take the land. It is a harsh land. It eats people up. The people voted no. And God said, because you voted no, everyone who's 20 years and older will die in the wilderness. And so the people wandered around for almost 40 years until everyone who was 20 years and older died. Excuse me. I have to catch my breath here. Okay. Then they came to the top of Mount Pisgah, where Moses looked into the into the land of promise, and there Moses died. After that, God raised up a young man whose name was Joshua. He led them through the Jordan River, where he divided the land among the 12 tribes. Now, there were how many tribes in the north? 10 tribes in the north. There were 2 tribes in the south. The capital of the north was, the 10 tribes in the north were called Israel. The 2 tribes in the south were called Judah. The capital of the north was called Samaria. The capital of the south was called Jerusalem. Now, in 722 BC, and you just have to remember the number, 722 BC, King Shalmaneser. Now that's a long word. And so, you see this lady, and she's the victim of a car accident. And she's lying on the ground. And there's nobody around to help her. And you're looking around and you say, this woman needs some help or ease. And you say, shall man ease her? So that might be a silly way to remember this guy's name, Shalmaneser. So in 722, King Shalmaneser came, and from Assyria came and took the 10 northern tribes into captivity. There they were dispersed among the provinces of Assyria and basically never heard of again. Basically, they did not never become a nation. There is some references to them, but basically they were never heard of again. In 606 BC, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon came and took the 2 southern tribes into captivity into Babylon, where they were for how many years? 70 years. After that is written in the books of Ezra and Nehemiah. 50,000 Jews rose up, went back to the city of Jerusalem. They rebuilt the wall, they rebuilt the houses, rebuilt the temple, reestablished the worship, and that's the chronological end of the Old Testament. Okay, so we've gone through it twice, and you're remembering more and more as we go.